Welcome back. This is lecture number 18. So, lecture number 18. In the previous lecture, I was talking about the twisting algorithm. I have also talked that how to define higher order sliding mode control. So, what is basic idea? Suppose if you have some system x dot t equal to f tx, you can take plus g tx into u, and suppose this is uncertain and this is uncertain, and if you have some kind of output that is sigma, that is hx, for time being I am assuming that this particular output is just function of x, but you can assume that that is function of time also. And here basically x belongs to Rn, u belongs to R, because most of time we are assuming that I am dealing with single input, single output system. I will generalize this result for multi input, multi output system also in the next part of this course. So this kind of assumption I have, and after that what we have observed that if output and their derivative, first derivative, both equal to 0 in finite time, so I am telling that sigma and sigma dot equal to 0 after t greater than equal to t finite time, and at the same time if sigma double dot that is not equal to 0, that is discontinuous, then we are telling that I have basically second order sliding mode. And first algorithm of second order sliding mode we have discussed, and that algorithm is nothing but the twisting algorithm, and in the previous class we have analyzed the convergence as well as stability of this kind of algorithm k1 signum x1 minus k2 signum x2, and I am assuming that okay, suppose if I have distance disturbance dt, and I am assuming very simple kind of disturbance, but we have already proved that even if you can apply u, that is defined like minus k1 signum sigma output and minus k2 signum sigma dot, and after that if you select k1 and k2 properly according to the bond of this particular uncertain function ftx and gtx, then it is possible to show, one can show that sigma and sigma dot both equal to 0 in finite time. And simplified version of same algorithm I can write like this: x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to minus k signum x1 minus k2 signum x2 plus dt, and after that if I select k1 that is greater than k2 plus dt, then it is possible to show that x1 and x2 both equal to 0 after finite time t greater than equal to some finite time t. So this is the simplified version. We have also seen that why name is twisting, because if you see the phase plane analysis, and why phase plane analysis is simpler, because this is second order system, but if you are moving to third order, fourth order, then this is not easy. Now let us try to understand that what is main motivation to propose this particular algorithm that is called twisting algorithm. So idea is that in order to understand the idea, I am going to take very simple system. I am telling, suppose if I take the differentiation of output and control is explicitly appear at the first derivative, then could you please tell me that what is relative degree of this output with respect to control? Anyone?
So 1.
1. So I have relative degree equal to 1. Now if I have relative degree equal to 1, then I can design control like minus k signum sigma, and after that if I put k that is greater than dt for all t, then one can able to make sure that sigma equal to 0 after some finite time t greater than equal to t. So this kind of things we have already seen, and this is nothing but first order sliding mode control. And why I am telling this is first order sliding mode control, you try to see that here sigma equal to 0. What about sigma dot? Anyone? What about sigma dot?
Discontinuous.
Not equal to 0 means discontinuous. So due to that reason we are telling that this is first order sliding mode control. What is limitation? Limitation is that since signum function, if you see the signum function, then that particular function is discontinuous at sigma equal to 0. So that is discontinuous. So this is basically plus k and this is minus k, and actually sigma equal to 0, that is switching from minus k to plus k, and this kind of switching is called high frequency switching. So very fastly they start switching. If you are on some particular manifold, either you can take two-dimensional system or even if you have one-dimensional system. So in one-dimensional system, at the equilibrium point they start doing this kind of oscillation. In two-dimensional system we are converging here, and after that we try to converge to the equilibrium point, so this kind of motion is there. And particularly for the mechanical system, this kind of control is very much dangerous. Why that is dangerous? Because our actuator, once we are at equilibrium point, then actuator start doing motion like this, sometime in forward direction, sometime in backward direction, and that kind of motion is not going to vanish, that is remains there. And due to that reason people are start telling that this kind of control is dangerous, because we have some kind of infinite switching involved in this process, and that is called chattering. So what is first solution for chattering? That is given by Professor Levant. Another solution is also available. I will discuss that solution in the next part of this course. But first solution, what is proposed by the Professor Levant, that he was telling that you can apply higher order sliding mode control, and you try to apply one more order of sliding mode control. If you have first order, then you try to apply second order. So what does it mean? They are telling that what you can do, you try to increase the relative degree of system. So how to increase relative degree of the system? You can take another derivative, and at that time you can see that u dot plus d dot t comes into picture. Now if you are going to assume that this u dot as a some virtual control input, so now I am going to assume that this u dot is nothing but some kind of nu, and I am going to define this nu as some kind of minus k 1 signum sigma minus k2 signum sigma, and I am going to maintain k1 greater than k2 plus d dot t now. So if you maintain this kind of condition, then again you can see that what happens, that with respect to this nu is now defined like this, and if I apply that kind of nu, then what happens, that basically sigma is 0, sigma dot is 0, but sigma double dot, that is not equal to 0. And how to apply this control? So he is suggesting that since differentiation is the inverse process of integration, so by integration, using some kind of integration like this, you can apply this control, this kind of control. So idea is like this, that what you can do, whenever you have some system of relative degree 1, then he has suggested that do not use first order sliding mode control. Why? Because first order, if you are going to use first order sliding mode control, then at the equilibrium point I have some kind of motion, that is particularly at equilibrium point I have this kind of oscillatory motion of high frequency. That kind of motion might actually also going to excite the unmodeled dynamics, some kind of dynamics which is not active. But if some high frequency comes into picture, then that start alive, and what happens, that might be dangerous. Due to that unmoduled dynamics, my system might damage, and due to that reason he has suggested that you can increase the relative degree. But try to see here that if you are going to increase the relative degree, then I have one difficulty. What kind of difficulty I have? In order to design control, somehow control is the integration of this. So could you please guess that integration of this is continuous or discontinuous? Obviously, whatever new I have written, that is discontinuous. So anyone, could you please tell me that if I am going to integrate it, that is continuous or discontinuous?
So average velocity is 0. No?
No, I am asking very simple question. What I am telling, suppose you have some kind of signum kind of function. Okay, so you can take any signum function. Suppose I have taken here variable p and this is signum p. Now I am going to apply some kind of operator, that is integral operator from 0 to t. Then what do you expect? What kind of signal that is going to come inside this box?
Continuous.
Sorry, whatever figure I have drawn, that is basically wrong. That is not figure of signum. Okay, so I am going to redraw that figure again. What I am telling, I have signum function. Okay, so this is my signum function and p, and this is signum p. So this is plus k and this is minus k. Now I am going to pass that particular signal from here to here. So this is integrator block. So I am going to pass this signal here. So what do you think? What kind of signal basically comes into picture? Could you please?
Ramp type.
Zero.
Some kind of absolute value. By reverse process, you can see now what is differentiation of this absolute value.
This is positive and this is negative slope.
So positive side,
Positive slope and
this
there is
negative sign, and at 0 I cannot able to differentiate. Okay, it means that if you are going to integrate some kind of signum function and this particular things is going to contribute 0 area, what is meaning of integration? That continuous addition. So discontinuous things doesn't matter. Okay, so it means that if I have some kind of discontinuity at 0 distance, why I am telling 0 distance? Because you can see that only I have removal kind of discontinuity. If I remove this point, then discontinuity is going to disappear. And if I have those kind of discontinuity, if you start passing signal with some kind of integrator, then you have continuous signal. Okay, in this way, since this signal is continuous, obviously that is not differentiable, but at least that is continuous.
Yeah, continuous but not differentiable.
But not differentiable. So due to that reason, what happens? Similar kind of things happens here. If you integrate this new, then I have integration of this k1 signum sigma and integration of k2 signum sigma. So and integration of some function f1 plus f2 is the individual integration. So this signal is continuous, this signal is continuous after integration, and addition of two continuous function is also continuous. Due to that reason, overall signal is continuous. Anyone has confusion on this? Due to that reason, what he has suggested, that if you increase the relative degree of the system, and in the increased relative degree you can apply that much order of sliding mode control, then your control which you are going to apply here, because u dot I am going to apply on the original system, that is continuous. But try to see that here I have to apply some extra information. Here d dot is there, so I have to apply one extra information. What is that information? In order to design this control, you can see that I need information of sigma and I need information of sigma dot. Okay, so two information is required in order to design this control u. Now try to see sigma dot. Is it possible to determine sigma dot? Anyone? First you can tell me yes or no. After that explain me the reason.
The dt is present, so sigma dot is not
It means
disturbance
that
is
I
not
cannot able to determine sigma dot.
yes sir.
At least exactly I cannot determine. Okay, so even if theoretically it looks like that I can apply sigma dot, but it is not possible. Okay, but one way is there, still one way is there. You can, if you know sigma, then you can calculate sigma dot by using some kind of differentiator. Okay, and then you can apply. It means that if you have some extra arrangement to calculate sigma dot, and suppose I am assuming that even if this sigma dot is uncertain, but by some proper arrangement, suppose by using information of sigma you are able to calculate sigma dot, then this process is okay. Are you able to understand my point or not? What I am
Yes,
telling,
sir.
from here sigma dot you cannot able to substitute because sigma dot is uncertain. But suppose I have some more arrangement that is called some kind of differentiator, then I am able to implement this kind of algorithm. And if you see the literature, due to this reason only Levant has proposed differentiator in order to implement this kind of algorithm. So idea is that if relative degree is 1 and if you apply first order sliding mode control, then obviously your output is finite time stable but control is discontinuous. Now you can increase the relative degree by taking one more differentiation and apply the higher order sliding mode control, means second order sliding mode control, by passing some kind of integrator. Then control signal become continuous. But problem is that now control signal requires two things. One thing is output and their derivative. And if you are assuming derivative is present, then this is not good assumption. Why that is not good assumption? If you know sigma dot, you somehow you calculate and you know this control signal, because whenever I am designing control, I am assuming that whatever control signal that is well defined, I cannot assume that control signal is not well defined. So you know sigma dot, you know the control, it means that you are also knowing the uncertainty. And if you are knowing the uncertainty, then things is pretty easy. What you can do, so yeah, you can now apply any control, any simple control you can apply. That much complicated control is not required. And since you have information of uncertainty, exact information of uncertainty, because sigma dot I have already calculated using some kind of differentiator, I know the control. So in that way I can also assuming that dt is known to me. So reconstruction of disturbance is possible, and so one can stabilize the system even if one can get finite time stability without using this kind of control action. Okay, are you able to get my point or not? Anyone has confusion on this point? So due to that reason, this means that if extra derivative was required, there is no use of sliding mode control. So I cannot able to defined myself that why I am using sliding mode control. And after that, when Levant has so this work is done by Levant during his PhD curriculum. So what happens, his mentor was telling him that whatever things you have developed and whatever solution you are proposing, that solution is mathematically okay, but that is not going to remove the chattering. Why that is not going to remove the chattering? Because you are assuming that sigma dot is required, and if sigma dot is required, then you can able to reconstruct disturbance. Now I can apply any simple control strategy because my system is in system, I know the disturbance. Then you can apply any classical methodology. What is need of sliding mode control? And after that second stage of his PhD, he come up with another algorithm, and that is called now super twisting algorithm. I will tell you the name, why name is super twisting algorithm. So now idea is little bit different. Idea, he was telling that okay, now what you can do, you try to define control. You can again take same system sigma dot equal to u plus dt, and after that what is their observation, that if you substitute u equal to minus k1 sigma power half signum sigma and plus some fictitious variable you can put here. Suppose I am going to put some fictitious variable, that is z, and z dot equal to minus k2 signum sigma. So what he has suggested that you can apply some kind of PI kind of controller, and that is not linear PI, because you can see here I need proportional information, but proportional information is actually scaled out, that is scaled out by some nonlinear function sigma power half signum sigma. And after that they are telling that integration and integral operator is also not simple integral. So try to see again, I will recall that problem, that if I have something like u plus dt, in the first part of this course I have already told you that if you apply something like kp into sigma minus ki 0 to t, and after that sigma tau into d tau, this kind of control is called PI controller. Or you can express this control like this also, that doesn't harm our analysis, z dot equal to minus ki into sigma. So I can express control like this or this, that remains the same. You can see that similar kind of structure I have here also. Again I have something where proportional information is involved, but here I have a scaled information of sigma power half signum sigma. And after that this information, initially I am passing the exact information of output to the integral, but here I am going to pass some kind of information, that is discontinuous information. Why I am telling discontinuous information? Because I have here signum sigma, and I am going to pass that with some kind of integral. So PI integral part is also modified like this. And if you just assume sigma equal to x, then same kind of things, basically same kind of structure comes into picture, because I have this kind of x dot equal to u plus dt. So I am assuming that x equal to sigma. Here I am assuming x equal to sigma. I have defined this kind of variable because most of time if you see the literature, people are expressing algorithm in terms of x or L, and Levant is expressing in terms of sigma. So s x equal to sigma, so x dot equal to now k x power half signum x and 0 to t k2 signum x. After that now you can define some fictitious variable L. Here I have defined z, and after that here fictitious variable, if you are putting this, then that is nothing but L is basically 0 to t k2 signum s tau into d tau and plus this disturbance dt. And if you take the derivative of this L dot, then that is minus k2 signum xt and plus d dot t. And due to that reason I have this kind of algorithm. Anyone has difficulty in order to picture this algorithm, super twisting algorithm? Anyone after applying the control? So now form of super twisting algorithm is like this: x dot k1 x1 power half signum sigma plus L, and L dot equal to minus k2 signum x and plus d dot. Similar kind of analysis, if you remember that in first part of this course I have already discussed about the PI controller. Now aim is to design k1 and k2 such that x and L, that is finite time stable. That is our idea. Now I will tell you that this is second order sliding mode control. Why? I will explain this in the later part of this lecture. First try to understand that why Levant has proposed this kind of idea. If you remember my lecture on PI controller, at that time I have told you that if this disturbance dt is constant, and if you design simple PI control, then what is the result? Using this PI controller, Is it possible to reject constant disturbance, constant unknown disturbance? Anyone?
Yes, sir, it is.
But what is difficulty?
Yes.
Difficulty is that if that is time varying, then I cannot give guarantee that that is rejected, fully rejected. Now,
Yes, sir.
Levant has observed this phenomena, and what they observe that if I have here u equal to minus k signum x, then from the first order sliding mode control, so I am going to write that, then things become little more clear to you. You are able to picturize at least what Levant has observed, that he never mentioned, but this is my personal thinking, that he understood that if I have this kind of structure, at least if this is dt, and if I design k greater than dt, then it is possible to show that sigma equal to 0 for all t greater than equal to t. T is finite time. It means that if I have some kind of discontinuous quantity like k signum sigma, using that I can able to reject the time varying disturbance. But now I have to maintain continuous control also. So if I substitute this term on the first place, then what happens, that control become discontinuous due to that reason. But I know that if I do integration of this term, then what happens, that this become continuous, and due to that is the actually basic idea behind the putting this term, that as a integrator he is going to put k2 signum x, so integration of this become continuous. It means that this control become continuous, and this structure is just like pi controller, but now this particular structure has additional feature. What is that additional feature? Traditional PI control is not able to completely reject the time varying disturbance, but this is able to reject the time varying disturbance. That is the idea. So additional, so PI, and this is non-smooth PI, you can assume this as a non-smooth. Why that is non-smooth? Because you can see that if you take the first derivative of this, then first derivative is also not exist, because I have x power half, and so x equal to 0, this is not differentiable. Due to that reason I am telling non-smooth PI. So this is able to reject, this is not able to reject time varying disturbance. If dt equal to 0, that is not able to reject. But even if time varying disturbance dt, this non-smooth PI is able to reject. I will prove that, okay, in the next part of this lecture. One more thing that you might not able to picture, why he has modified this proportional term, because I know why he has modified the integral term, because classical integral term of PI controller is only able to reject constant disturbance, but from first order sliding mode it is clear that if I have something, I have some kind of things like this particular kind of structure I have, minus sigma dot equal to minus k signum sigma plus dt, then any kind of disturbance, even if here I have d dot, then also they are able to reject. Just I have to make sure that k should be greater than d dot if I have here d dot. Okay, so either you can put here d dot or not put d dot, that doesn't matter for me. Everywhere I have to just change the condition. Now it might possible you are unable to picture why they are going to put, why they have suggested this term. So what is basic observation? Observation is like this. Now suppose if you have this kind of algorithm, k sigma power half signum sigma, and now what you can do, you can take any Lyapunov function like sigma square I am going to take, or half sigma square you can take. So this is valid Lyapunov function. Why this is valid Lyapunov function? Here I am assuming sigma belongs to R, because V is always positive, and after that V0 equal to 0, this kind of condition. Now I have to just make sure that that is finite time stable. So V dot equal to sigma sigma dot. So if you are going to put sigma dot, then you are able to see this kind of structure k sigma power half, and after that I have sigma into signum sigma. So what is value of sigma into signum sigma? Anyone?
Mod sigma.
Mod sigma.
Mod sigma.
So finally, if I will write like this, that is okay. 1 plus sigma
3 by 2.
uh, this become 3 by 2. Okay, so at least by this methodology I am able to see that this is asymptotically stable. Okay, further what I am going to do, I am going to substitute the value of sigma. So you can see here that I have some kind of quantity, that quantity is 2v equal to sigma mod sigma square. So basically I can write mod sigma equal to 2v power half. Anyone has confusion on this? Now if you substitute this value here, then what happens? V dot is basically now k and 2v and 3 by 2, so that become 3 power 4. So now could you please able to comment that sigma equal to 0 is asymptotically stable or finite time stable? Anyone? What is condition for finite time stability? Do you remember that? Okay, I will ask you another question, then it might possible you are able to correlate.
Asymptotic.
No, up to here that is asymptotic because that is less than 0. But in order to show something is finite time stable, it might possible in some lecture I am talking like this. If that is v dot alpha v power
Alpha to power half.
beta or half, whatever you can take. Beta should be lie between
Yes.
0 to 1. 0 to 1. So if this kind of situation is there, then I can able to claim that V is finite time stable. Okay, so substituting this mod sigma equal to 0, I have same kind of condition. You can see that whatever final result that is coming, and that result is suggesting me that always V dot that is equal less than, but I have equality sign, that is also perfectly fine because this is less than equal to 0. 2 power 3 by 4 into V power 3 by 4, and this is less than 1. Due to that reason, if I have this kind of structure, then I can able to give guarantee that sigma equal to 0 in finite time. So I can able to claim from here that sigma equal to 0 after some time t greater than equal to t. Anyone has confusion on this? Are you able to picture out this or not? So if I have this kind of things, then I can able to give guarantee that sigma equal to 0. So Levant is actually well known about this fact. Now what he has done, he is going to add some one more term. Why that addition of that term is required? Let us try to understand like this. So in the previous slide I have proved that if I have a structure like this, signum sigma, then that is finite time stable. Now try to see if I have some disturbance dt or some dx, some any disturbance. So once sigma equal to 0, then this particular value is 0. Now you can interpret like this. Suppose I have sigma dot equal to u plus dt, and I am going to design some kind of continuous control. Why this is continuous? Sigma power half signum sigma is continuous or discontinuous? Anyone? I am not talking about differentiability. I am just talking about continuity. So try to continuous, because try to see the graph of this.
At sigma equals to 0, both are 0.
Because I have some kind of parabolic structure here. If sigma is greater than 0, then I have some kind of axis. This is sigma. So this is parabolic structure because sigma power half, that is some parabola. Now sigma equal to 0, even if this is lie between -1 to 1, but multiplication with 0, what is value? That is 0. And if you plot in this axis, then I have negative of this graph. So what is negative of this graph? That is exactly similar like this. So you can see that from here to here, sigma or sigma power half signum sigma, that graph is continuous, and due to that reason if you are designing this kind of term, that is always continuous, not discontinuous, even if this discontinuous term is present, but this is only discontinuous at sigma equal to 0. At that point, sigma equal to 0, multiplication of any quantity that lie from -1 to 1, and this is 0, then multiplication equal to 0. Have you able to picture this or not? Anyone has confusion on
Yes,
this?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
If you do not have confusion that this is continuous, now try to see that if some disturbance comes into picture, and if that is non-vanishing disturbance, means that is not 0 at 0, then what happens, that since at the sigma equal to 0 I have no control now, because I have defined u equal to k sigma power half signum sigma, and I am already at equilibrium point. I am assuming everything belongs to R. So, but at this point I have disturbance, so I cannot give guarantee that I am going to live here. Based on the magnitude of disturbance, I am going to deviate from here. And due to that reason, Levant has added one more term. And I have already told you that intuition to add this term. If you just add K2 into d tau, then what happens? It might possible one can give another suggestion that I am just going to add this kind of term sigma t, or whatever I have written x tau, same language I am going to write. If you add this kind of term, then again this is only able to compensate the constant disturbance. That is no longer going to compensate the time varying disturbance, and due to that reason they have used somehow property of first order sliding mode control. So by combining some property from first order sliding mode and some property from finite time stability, he has coined some another PI controller, that is known as smooth PI controller. And due to that reason, whenever I am taking lecture, I am telling that super twisting algorithm is nothing but some kind of PI controller. Okay, so whenever you are working with industry, please do not tell that non-control guy that you are going to apply some kind of sliding mode control. You can just tell them I am going to apply some kind of PI controller that is not exactly PI but looks like PI, but they have better performance. They are able to reject some kind of time varying disturbance. Anyone has confusion on this? Now you can see that if I have again system like x dot equal to ftx plus gtx into u, now you can again define your output sigma equal to hx and take the relative degree. If relative degree is 1, now you can design this kind of control. It is possible to show that, but again please be careful. Here I am assuming that whatever disturbance that is dt, that should be differentiable. Otherwise, if that is not differentiable, you are not able to convert that structure like this. Okay, so if that is differentiable, then only I can able to write a structure like this and able to prove the stability. Due to that reason, we are assuming that whatever disturbance, that should be differentiable. One more assumption I needed, because from first order sliding mode control it is clear this assumption that gain of this integral part, this continuous integral part should be greater than d dot t. It means that disturbance, but this is no longer assuming that disturbance is bounded. Just they are assuming that derivative of disturbance should be bounded. So what do you think? This controller is able to compensate some kind of ramp disturbance or not? Ramp disturbance is not bounded, because you can consider some kind of disturbance like this, dt equal to k into t. I have supposed this kind of disturbance. Here k is some kind of constant. So this is no longer bounded. But what do you think about d dot t? That is bounded or not?
Step function.
That is bounded. It means that the beauty of this class of controller is that even if disturbance is not bounded, but their derivative is bounded, then they are able to reject that particular disturbance. Okay, but that is not property of sliding mode control, because whenever I am writing u equal to plus dt, and if you apply minus k signum x sigma here, then every time I have to make sure that k should be greater than dt. And here you can see that if disturbance is like dt equal to kt, then at some point this relation will not satisfy. So basically, classical first order sliding mode control or super twisting is going to handle different classes of disturbance. First order sliding mode control can reject some kind of non-differentiable disturbance also, because differentiability is no longer required whenever you are applying first order sliding mode control. Just you can see here that k signum x plus dt, and just I have to make sure that k should be greater than dt for all t. Nowhere differentiability sign is involved. So first order sliding mode control can able to reject some kind of non-differentiable disturbance also, but super twisting is not able to do that. Okay, so up to here any confusion? So again I am going to tell you the whole story. So if you see the structure of super twisting, that is nothing but some kind of structure that is motivated from the PI control. Proportional part is substituted by some kind of non-linear term. Why? Because that non-linear term is responsible to maintain finite time stability. Another term, since simple integral control is not able to reject the time varying disturbance, and due to that reason they have substituted second term, that is k2 signum x, that is motivated from the sliding mode control, first order sliding mode control. And after that what happens, that is able to take care about the time varying disturbance also. Super twisting and first order sliding mode control is applicable for different classes of disturbance. Whenever you have some kind of discontinuous disturbance, you are unable to apply super twisting control, and this is obvious. Suppose if you have discontinuous uncertainty, then one cannot compensate discontinuous thing by some kind of continuous signal, but opposite is true. If you have some kind of continuous uncertainty, you are able to compensate that uncertainty by some kind of discontinuous signal. But if you have discontinuous uncertainty, then continuous signal cannot compensate it. For that, discontinuous signal is required, and due to that reason discontinuity is one of discontinuity based control has still some kind of physical significance, still some more physical significance, because lot of classes of uncertainty that is not continuous. If that is continuous and bounded, then you can apply the super twisting. Up to here anyone has confusion? So if you simulate this particular structure, now this is your job to simulate, and I found that Ankit has simulated twisting controller. So similarly now you can simulate some kind of super twisting controller. Here if you simulate it, it is possible to show that in finite time we will converge to the equilibrium point. Control structure now that looks like this, that is continuous. One more important point is that once trajectory converges to here, you are able to estimate the disturbance also. Why? That is property from just same property like first order sliding mode control, because here in this way L is also 0. So once L is 0 and I have defined L equal to k2 signum s plus dt. So I have already defined L equal to minus k2 signum s plus dt. So if L equal to 0 after finite time, at that time this term should be exactly equal to dt. So in this way I can claim that super twisting has also disturbance observation property like first order sliding mode control. Okay, anyone has confusion on this? So same kind of things, I have taken sinusoidal signal during simulation. So after finite time you are able to reconstruct the signal, and here there is no need to pass through low pass filter, because after finite time s and L equal to 0. So just you have to check the signal of L, then you are able to reconstruct that disturbance. So if you have to reconstruct some disturbance without passing through low pass filter, then also super twisting is useful. So you can see that there are several different property. So if you think and if you sit and think coolly, then you are able to understand the differences. Okay, so up to here anyone has confusion? So now I have written the observation. Observation is that if I have relative degree 1 system and disturbance is differentiable and bounded, then you can apply super twisting and that generate some kind of continuous signal. And it is possible to show that after finite time output, here I am assuming that x belongs to R, it means that I have just first order system, and if you apply this kind of controller, then S is 0 and S dot is 0. And for that, Levant has suggested some exact gain, and this gain is beautiful gain. You can tell using some kind of geometrical method he has calculated this gain, and if you apply that kind of gain, you are able to see that performance of your system with respect to control, that is always better. So what is idea? Idea is that suppose if derivative of disturbance is bounded by delta, then K2 you have to select 1.1 delta and K1 1.5 square root of delta, and they have actually come to this result by some kind of geometrical method. Okay, here that geometrical method is little bit complicated and not so much elegant, and due to that reason I have preserved the gain, but I am going to adopt some another methodology that is more attractive and more relevant. It is possible to show that if you are going to design K1 and K2 by simple LMI method, linear matrix inequality method, one can able to select K1 and K2. So Lyapunov way one can select K1 and K2, and that contribution is actually given by Professor Moreno, and Moreno is become famous after that result. That result is actually published in 2008 CDC paper as a some conference paper, and after that he become famous for the construction of Lyapunov function for non-smooth algorithm. Okay, up to here anyone has confusion? So whenever you are doing the implementation at that time, please try to apply this kind of gain. Okay, now what I am telling, that suppose you have first order system x dot equal to u plus dt, then directly you can apply this kind of control, non-smooth PI control or super twisting algorithm, and select k1 equal to 1.5 square root of d and k2 equal to 1.1 d, and d is the upper bound of the derivative of the disturbance. Okay, now what happens that I have two questions. One question is why this particular controller is called second order sliding mode control. So try to check by definition. What is definition of second order sliding mode control? Output and their derivative should be 0. So here I am assuming that I have first order system. So first order system state and output remains the same, and due to that reason I am assuming that x is also output. So here you can see that x and x dot equal to 0, and if you calculate x double dot, then try to see this situation. What is x double dot? That is u dot and plus d dot t, and try to see that what is your u dot, that is k. At least I can not able to differentiate at basically x equal to 0, but apart from that everywhere differentiation is available. So, and this is x1 x dot, and after that I have another term that is minus k2 signum s. So I am assuming that okay, I am not worrying about one point, that is equilibrium point, then I can able to calculate this derivative. Now you can substitute x dot from here. If you substitute x dot from here, then you can see that I have k square by 2, x power half and x power half. So what is value of this? Anyone? What is value of this? X power half and x power 1 by 2. So that is going to cancel out, and due to that reason I have just signum x. Anyone has confusion on this? Minus k2 signum s. Okay, so if s not equal to 0, you can see that x double dot, that is continuous or discontinuous?
So discontinuous.
Discontinuous. So if s output and their derivative equal to 0 and their higher derivative, second derivative equal to discontinuous, that is not equal to 0, then that is second order sliding mode control. So what do you think? This particular algorithm will satisfy property of second order algorithm or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And due to that reason, super twisting, in literature people are writing STA, super twisting algorithm, or STC, super twisting control, are basically provide second order sliding mode control. Second order sliding mode. By definition, from definition it is clear. Anyone has confusion on this? Why STA, why super twisting is second order sliding mode, provide second order sliding? Okay, now suppose you have some kind of second order system. Second order system is x1 dot equal to x2, or you have some system, and if you take output, then relative degree is 2. So same kind of things, result remains the same. So I have taken some kind of simple uncertain differentiator. Now question is that, is it possible to apply this kind of algorithm? What is your answer? Yes or no? Anyone? Have you able to understand my question or not? What I am telling, suppose you have some second order system. I am going to actually
Sir,
take
yes, sir,
another.
because it is a second order sliding mode control.
Okay, so again try to understand the actually exact form of super twisting. So this is the exact form of super twisting. X dot equal to u plus dt, and after that u equal to minus k x power half signum x, and plus I have some another term, that is 0 to t, and this is k1 and this is k2, and this is signum x into d tau. So this is the structure of super twisting. You can see that in order to directly apply here, I need only first derivative, then only I can apply, even though that is second order sliding mode control, but only I can apply to the relative degree 1 system directly, because whenever we are proving the stability, then why that is converted into second order system? That conversion is possible due to this extra integrator, and you all are well aware that whenever I have some extra integrator, then first order system is converted into second order system. So if I design k1, again idea is same like I am telling, same like same like the Levant. So could you please tell me what is the gain? 1.1 delta, and if I remember correctly, then that is a square root of delta.
1.5.
1.5 square root of delta. Okay, so if you select gain like this, and here delta is basically uh, uh, greater than equal to d dot. So this kind of condition I have. So you can see that if I have any output and their relative degree with respect to control is 1, then directly only I can apply this kind of algorithm. And what is extra beauty? Then this I will also write another algorithm, first order sliding mode control, then you are able to compare. So comparison becomes simple then. So what I am telling now, I have same system. Again, you can take same system, x dot equal to ut plus dt, and if you apply ut equal to minus k signum s. So again, you can see that if k is greater than dt, then I can able to give guarantee that xt equal to 0 for all time t greater than equal to some finite time t. So both first order sliding mode control or super twisting algorithm, that is second order sliding mode control, is directly applicable for relative degree 1 system. Anyone has confusion? Why this is? Because due to the structure consideration, because whenever I have talked the super twisting algorithm, at that time we have taken this kind of system, and after that we are designing this kind of controller. Now I have basically two questions. Two question is that, suppose I have second order system. So you can take second order system, again uncertain system, and I am going to ask you two questions. So first question is that, is it possible to apply super twisting directly to this system or not? Anyone? Are you able to apply super twisting directly here? Saptiv?
Yes, doctor. It is already second order. So
Super twisting, are you able to apply?
using super twisting, one more degree will increase.
No, you are not getting my question. What I am telling, if you have first order system, then you can able to apply. You can see that during the design of super twisting, I need information, whatever variable here, same information I am needing. That information is required here and here. Okay. So if you are going to apply here,
The x1, x2 both information is required.
but that then I can then how
Directly no, cannot put that the
so
coordinate.
directly one cannot apply na.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Same like first order sliding mode control. In first order sliding mode control, whatever information I have here, same information I am putting, then directly I am able
Yes,
to
sir.
apply. But whenever I have second order
There is
system,
x1 and x2 both are there, so we have to
so I have to
change.
convert this system into first order system. Then only I can relative degree 1 system I have to convert.
Yes, sir.
And how basically we are doing? We are defining the again sliding surface, and with respect to sliding surface, now you can see that s dot equal to c x1 dot plus x2 dot, and x1 dot equal to x2 and x2 dot equal to ut plus, now I have dt, and if I select ut equal to ut, that is equal to minus cx2 plus some kind of nu t, then I can able to get s dot equal to nu t plus dt. Now here in this particular structure, is it possible to apply super twisting or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is the first order.
First order, Ruchi,
Yeah.
Ruchi,
Yes, sir.
are you able to understand
Yes,
this
sir.
point?
Yes, sir.
Why we are unable to
Yes,
apply
yes,
directly that kind of super
yes,
twisting algorithm to second order system? Because whatever
yes, sir.
structure that is proposed by Levant, that is only applicable when relative degree of control with respect to output, that is 1. But here, if you want to control the velocity, if you want to control the velocity, then that is not a problem. Again, relative degree of velocity with respect to control is 1. But if you have to control the position, I am assuming x1 as a position, then I cannot apply the super twisting algorithm directly, because for that relative degree 1 is required. So how to make relative degree 1? You can define any proper surface, that is linear, non-linear, doesn't matter, and after that what you can do, convert it into first order, and after that now you can design the control like K. Could you please suggest here what kind of things one can write here in order to apply super twisting? K1 S, S
in place
power
of
half,
S, we have to S.
and K2 0 to T, and signum S
S.
d tau. Anyone has confusion on this structure? And here you can see that I have to select K1, that is basically 1.5 this, and K2 I have to select, that is 1.1 delta, like this, and delta should be greater than d dot t. Then it is possible to show that S equal to 0 in finite time. S is 0 and S dot is 0. Initially, if you apply simple sliding mode control, at that time what happens? S is 0, but S dot is not 0. Due to that reason, I have this kind of motion. Okay. Now here I have S equal to 0 and S dot also equal to 0. So I have one more level of smoothness if you apply super twisting. It means that control, now whatever control, try to see the control signal. So control signal now become continuous for second order. But is it possible to talk the finite time stability of x1 or x2 or not? What do you think? Suppose s equal to 0, then I have x2 equal to minus cx1. And what is x2? That is x1 dot equal to minus cx1. So this is finite time stable or asymptotically stable?
Asymptotic.
Asymptotic stable. It means that if I apply second order sliding mode, that is super twisting, to second order system, then what happens? In terms of control, I have advantage. Control is continuous, and most of time for mechanical system like robotics or something or some class of system, continuous control is required. So control is continuous. But now x1 and x2, that is position and velocity, that is basically now asymptotic stable as t tending towards infinity. So I lose the finite time stability. Okay. So what do you think? What is another question? Another question is now like this: x2 equal to u plus dt. So another question is it possible to extend super twisting algorithm such that control remains continuous and that is able to reject the disturbance, same like whatever super twisting that is proposed by Levant, and x1 and x2 also finite time stable. So now I need this kind of things. So one question is like this: control u should be continuous. Obviously I need insensitivity, same like the Levant insensitivity, and third point is that x1 and x2 equal to 0 for t greater than equal to t. And here you can see that once I have first order system, and if we are willing continuous control, then what is relative what is order of sliding mode control? If you apply super twisting, then that is first order sliding mode or second order sliding mode control for relative degree 1 system. Second order sliding mode control. So if you are willing to achieve this kind of result, obviously for second order system I have to search some kind of third order sliding mode control. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this problem remain open till 2014. So I have started my PhD in 2012, and this problem is actually posed around the means if I remember correctly, people are telling that this problem is posed on 1994 or 1990, after 1990 this problem is posed. By designing some kind of continuous control, you have to achieve insensitivity as well as you have to make sure that x1 and x2 both tending towards 0. Similarly, I can extend this question for general order, that x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to x3 up to any order. Suppose relative degree is r or n, then relative degree u. Now is it possible to propose or suggest some kind of algorithm such that I can get x1, x2 and xn all are finite time stable, okay, and that is Rn plus 1th sliding mode control I will get, same like structure maybe like super twisting or some other structure, and again I will get the insensitivity. So actually this problem is solved by our group during my PhD, okay. So that is called higher order super twisting. So if you see that one paper is published on higher order super twisting, but still one difficulty what we have faced, that we are only able to prove, we know we are able to guess the structure up to any order, but for stability, because stability proof is very complicated, so we are only able to prove stability up to third order system. In recent year I found that Morino sir has extended it for nth order, but structure is little bit different. But whatever structure we have proposed, that is still remain that how to construct Lyapunov function or other strategy to prove the stability, such that so by construction, by simulation, we are able to confirm that all x1 x2 up to xn means all are finite time stable, and after that structure remains the like super twisting. So obviously we have to suggest some kind of modification, and modification is not obvious, so I will teach that kind of things in the next part of this course, okay. So up to here anyone has confusion? Have you able to understand the development or not? Development is looks like this, that initially I have, now you can generalize it. So I have some kind of system x dot t equal to f tx plus gtx into u, and this is uncertain, x belongs to Rn, u belongs to R. I have some kind of output sigma, that is hx. Now what we have seen, that if relative degree of output sigma equal to 1, then I have two possibility. I can use first order sliding mode in order to get, I am talking about finite time stability, and or I can use second order sliding mode. So if I use twisting algorithm, then I have restriction, because twisting algorithm required the information of derivative, and due to that reason I have to search some other algorithm. So try to see again why I am telling that required the derivative. Since I have relative degree 1, so I am writing like this, simplified form I am writing just, and here you can see that if you are going to increase the relative degree, then only I can apply the twisting algorithm. And here if I design u dot, that is k1 signum sigma minus k2 signum sigma dot and plus d dot t, and if you substitute k1 that is greater than k2 plus d dot t, then it is possible to show, one can show that actually sigma and sigma dot output and their higher derivative is finite time stable. But in this particular process I need the information of sigma dot, that is very crucial. That information is not available to me, and due to that reason what Levant has suggested, he has suggested another algorithm that is looks like this, signum sigma and minus k2 0 to t signum sigma into d tau. So could you please tell me that in this particular formulation, information of derivative is required or not?
No,
No,
not
not required. It means that again this is output based strategy where information of derivative is not required. Okay, but here what happens, another restriction comes into picture, that is with respect to disturbance. Disturbance should be differentiable as well as bounded, but actual disturbance may be bounded or unbounded, that doesn't matter for us. So after that, once suppose now you have nth order system, so nth order system I am representing like this, or you have some nonlinear system and relative degree of your output with respect to control is R, and you have to apply super twisting algorithm. How to apply? Sunidhi, could you please suggest that how to apply super twisting algorithm for this particular
Sir,
structure?
converts it to the single manifold, single
Yeah, single
dimensional.
manifold you have to convert. It means that you have to define some kind of sliding surface, that that last term is sigma r minus 1, and after that similarly you have to define some kind of combination, and last term is suppose n is not proper quantity, cn you can write c1 into sigma, and after that you can take the derivative, then this is sigma power r because I am taking derivative, and after that again I have higher order term here cn sigma dot, and after that now sigma r we are knowing that u plus dt, and up to here I have certain term, so please write it by yourself, and after that I can know that this term is their derivative is bounded, then only I can apply control like k s power half signum sigma minus k2 integration from 0 to t signum sigma into d tau. Okay, and then I can able to claim that output and they are all higher order derivative is asymptotically stable, not finite time stable. Okay, so now I am going to conclude this lecture. So what we have found in this lecture, that I have till now I have discussed two different algorithms, that is twisting algorithm and super twisting algorithm. So by increasing the relative degree of the system, I can apply twisting algorithm such that control become continuous. That is the idea, first idea. But what is difficulty in that idea? That information of derivative of output is required. And if you know the information of derivative of output, then there is no need of sliding mode control. Due to that reason, in next part of their research, Levant has suggested another algorithm that is called super twisting algorithm. And that super twisting algorithm is nothing but some kind of non-linear, non-smooth PI control, non-linear, non-smooth PI controller. And that algorithm has beauty that whatever control that is generated, that is continuous. No need of the information of or derivative of output is required for that. And after that, what is limitation? And one more advantage is that that is also able to compensate ramp kind of disturbance. But what is disadvantage? Disadvantage is first of all that if you are going to apply super twisting for higher order system, then you are just able to get the asymptotic stability. So due to that reason, extension of super twisting is required. After that, second crucial that restriction, that is that their derivative should be bounded. It means that whatever disturbance that is continuously differentiable and bounded, that is the restriction. So now what is I am going to do in next class, still how to design K1 and K2. So one way that is suggested by the Levant I have already wrote without any proof. But second way, using some kind of Lyapunov way, how to prove or how to tune K1 and K2 such that output and their derivative is finite time stable. That part I am going to cover in the next lecture. Okay, and you are able to see that that proof is very brilliant proof, you can tell. Just using linear way one can able to prove the stability of nonlinear system. That is the beauty of that proof, just by coordinate transformation. So that part I am going to discuss in the next class. Now if you have any confusion, then please let me know. Anyone? Okay, so if you do not have any confusion, then I am going to close the today's lecture. Okay, so thank you very much.